Hey guys, Logan and Chris coming at you with episode 6 of Lessons with LeBlond. Sorry about this episode being a week late. Just a little mix up just last week, so we apologize for that. But we are excited to be back with you guys with the new episode. And again, if you guys have any questions during the episode, please feel free, leave a comment. If there's questions after the episode, give us a call or submit a web request at leblondusa.com. So without further ado, I'm going to dive right into the first section of today's episode, which I am going to be covering our Arc Hale heavy duty lathes lineup. So in this lineup, you have three different models: the RKL 2100, RKL 2500, and the RKL 2900. Each of those models are offered in a 57, 87, and 117 and 157 inch center distance. So four center distances on those. And then where they vary is going to be the swing over cross and the swing over bed. So for the RKL 2100, that swing over bed is going to be 22 inches. The 25 is 26, and the 29 is 30 inches. Whereas the swing over cross is 13.4 on the 21, 17.5 on the 26 or 25, and the 21.6 on the 2900 series. Each of the machines come with a 15 horsepower motor, a 4-inch spindle bore. Some standard accessories that come with the machine are going to include steady rest, fall arrest, coolant system, a 4-way quick turn tool post, a taper attachment, some optional accessories we would typically quote with this machine. And this isn't an all-encompassing list, but we would quote a DRO, collet closers, additional steady rest, an Aloris tool post, 3 jaw chuck, 4 jaw chuck, items such as that. And without further ado, I'll hand it over to Chris, who's going to get into the lessons of the day here. Chris, you want to take it from here?
Yeah, hey guys. So we're going to talk about a couple of different things today, mainly on the KOE side. A lot of you guys, everybody thinks LeBlond is lathes, because that's what we've been doing for so many years. But when the new owners bought the place, we bought, the parts rights for a couple other different lines of equipment, and one of them being the KOE lines, your surface grinders, tool and cutter grinders. And some of the things we do for those, it's not just parts and stuff, that we handle here on that side of it. It's to supply you. But we also rebuild the spindles and some of the work heads, mainly the KB 943 work head. You may recognize it. Here's a housing for one for a brand new one. And typically what happens on rebuilding one of those, what we go through is, take it all apart. A lot of times we can get away with just bearings and seals, and that's with most of your stuff, but we're going to check out everything. Something I have brought in. So this is a spindle from one that we did rebuild. You can see, well, you guys may not be able to see. I'll try to you can see some of the wear there, where it's running on the bearings and the seals and it's cut grooves. So now the bearing's not going to seat right. The seal's not going to seat right. So that, would have to be replaced. Just something, good for us to evaluate for you, if that's a piece of equipment you got. Also, your spindles for your surface grinders. This here's a brand new one, pretty typical size one. It's a little bit larger than the KB 6055CL that I see on the daily, but things we do check, here on your spindle, we run a indicator on that in 3 different spots just to make sure, the runout's good on that. Your grinding wheel's going to sit in there perfect. But what that all entails too is, replacing the seals. We're always going to have to replace the seals whenever we take one apart, just because they're going to get damaged. And what's not going to keep them lasting is, if you can see the bearings on those, these high-speed bearings are just all open bearings that we have to pack with grease, and they generally get 2 on each end of that spindle as well. And they're directional, so they have to be put in a certain way. If you can see this top side, is a little bit thicker than this back side, and that's designed for the way for the spindle, the way it needs to be built and set with the spacers. So that's things that we do. We test run them in house for you. Just to let you know, LeBlond's a little bit more than just lathes anymore. We're surface grinders, tool and cutter grinders. We got band saws, drill presses, a lot of things. We can help you out with your machine tool room, and that's what we're here for, to help you out and stuff with that. Another thing, we look for, so with this housing, is that there's wear, from the bearing, running on the inside, and is it wore out? If it is, we do recommend that you replace it, and we'll let you know, and we'll give you other options. There's options to glue it in, but let's face it, that's not a really good option. But sometimes people don't want to spend the money for the new housing, so we do give them that option. It's not the best. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You're given a 90-day guarantee on that. On any of these spindles that we rebuild, there is a 90-day guarantee. We take it back, rebuild it, no questions asked kind of deal. And it does happen, some things get damaged in shipment. It's just the way the world works. Yeah, that's part of what we do here. Besides just lathes, just so you know, we're a little bit more than just lathes. Lathes, yeah, definitely is our specialty, but it's not everything we do.
All right. And Chris, we've got some questions coming in about the rebuilds. So when someone sends in a workhead or a spindle to get rebuilt, does it need to go through an assessment period first, or do we need to take a look at it, figure out what needs to be replaced on it, or is there just a one price for a rebuild on a specific workhead or specific spindle? How does that work?
There is definitely, so there is an assessment, and things can change the price of that. There is mainly a set price for the rebuild of one, but definitely things can change that. If you need a whole new spindle, that's going to up the cost a little bit. If you need that new housing, that housing's going to raise the cost quite a bit. A lot of times, the only time we're going to have to replace the housing is going to be on these KB 943s because they're made of aluminum. And, it's a soft metal and it'll wear down. Now, on your surface grinder spindles, this is all steel. That's not going to wear. The bearing and everything else is going to give before that. So that, you're always going to have that. The only thing, that you'll be looking at is possibly a new spindle that's going to up the price on that one. But no, there's a set price. They can be turned a lot of times, depending on my workload, they can be turned around anywhere from 1 to 3 days. There are occasions when I do run into some trouble with some getting them together and set just right, because those bearings are sensitive. And with the test running process, if they start overheating, then it's tear down and start all over again until we get it just right.
All right. And on the rebuilds, we have another comment coming in. Are we able to rebuild any workhead or spindle for Kaolis, or are there specific models that we're only able to rebuild?
The typical one we do that we see is the KB 943 workhead. There are a couple other variations out there, but we just we didn't get everything, with when KOE came to us to get that stuff. We don't have the castings to make the new, the heads on them. Some of the specs got lost over the years and all that, unfortunately. We're certainly going to do our best to see what we can do for you, but there's not a guarantee we're going to be able to help you out with that.
Okay. We got another comment. Is it easier to replace a spindle on an old LeBlond lathe or a Kaoli grinder?
Oh, Kaoli grinder. Definitely.
I was going to say grinder for sure.
The spindle on a lathe, you're looking at, I've done one in, I want to say 14 hours straight. The spindle on a Kaoli grinder, anywhere from 4 to 8 hours tops. And a lot of it's just getting them bearings set right. Yeah, with a lathe, there's a whole lot that's all got to come apart. Sometimes you can't just pull the spindle out. You got to pull the high speed shaft out. You got to pull some other gears and shafts out. It's very complex.
Okay. And we got a question coming in about the RKL heavy duty lathes. Um, so it was mentioned that has a 4-inch spindle bore. Do we offer anything larger than 4-inch? The answer to that is yes, we do. We do offer lathes with 6-inch bores, 9-inch bores, 10-inch bores, 12-inch bores. If you have a if you have a requirement that needs a specific spindle bore size, give us a call at 513-943-0099 and hit option 2. That's going to take you over to machine sales, and we can talk about what your requirements are for your job, and get you a machine that's going to fit your needs. And I'm going to go ahead and there's a banner at the bottom of your screen, where you can just give us a call, get more info on the lathe. This is the toll-free number here, the 888-532-5663. So again, give us a call with any questions you guys have. Chris, you got anything else on the?
I would just say, if you're, the list of those heavy duty lathes that he mentioned, if those aren't big enough, we can also go bigger than that as well. We have, and maybe we'll get some pictures of some of those on our next episodes to show you, to showcase those, just so you can see. Yeah, we can go really as big as you need, and we'll do everything we can for you.
Absolutely. And if you guys have any comments or anything after the show, like I said at the beginning, give us a call, submit a web request at LeBlondUSA.com, or there's anything you'd like to see on future shows, anything about new machine sales, anything about service or parts, any topics you guys would like to cover, please let us know. We would be more than happy to help you guys out and answer any questions you may have.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
You guys want to hear about how my day's going, dealing with kids and volleyball every day, cross country, the stress of that and work?
Don't get started on that, guys.
Just call in and I'll tell you all about it.
All right. Hey, thanks everyone for tuning in. You have a great day, and we will be back with you in a couple weeks.
Have a good one.